The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Welcome back to Probably a Podcast. I'm lame as fuck, but I bought this at the airport and it is so cute. And if you're just listening to this and not watching, it is literally a full ass just British flag notebook. I personally love notebooks. I'm a big list girl. List. And I'm always running out of notebooks because I'd be making lists. So when I saw this notebook, oh, well, you know what I did? Let me tell you something I did, because I may be a dumb bitch so often, and I'm never ever shocked at just how big of a dumb bitch I am. But one thing that I am also sometimes is like a really fucking smart girl. And I remember, because we were joking all the time with James, I guess me and my friends, I don't know. But I guess the world was like kind of making fun of how the pound, the British pound, aka their form of currency, had like shot down so low below the dollar, the US dollar, which isn't super common. And everyone was making these jokes like it's called soccer now, because in England they call, soccer football. We're the weird ones that call it soccer. Anyways, all that being said, James made a point. He's like, you really utilize, it only works. Here's how this works. Someone listening to this is going to correct me, and that's okay, because like this is how it worked in my brain. Basically what I think is like you had to capitalize on it while the pound was down. The pound was down like a fuck ton, right? And so it's already back up. It's already back to like almost even Stevens with the US dollar. So in that moment, you could have either gone to the UK and had a bunch of American cash, which they don't take. So you would have had to convert your money and just taken the loss and whatever the conversion rate was, et cetera, et cetera. But like there was that way to do it. Or Bank of America, who I currently bank with, has the option on their app to like, you can get any foreign currency for free. They don't charge you anything. And so the exchange rate was so low that is this boring? Oh my God. Am I a finance podcast? I don't know. So I basically had this idea where I was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to take out a bunch of money, not a bunch, but like, a couple grand in pounds and pay American money. So for instance, to make this make sense to you guys and me, because I didn't get it at first, I took $2,000 out. It cost me $1,500. Sorry, I took 2,000 pounds out. It cost me $1,500. Normally, before, when the pound was up, it would have cost me $2,300 to take out 2,000 pounds. But it cost me $1,500 to take out 2,000 pounds. And then you got the money. This is all to circle back that I really need to use my pounds, because the only time I can use it is in cash when I'm in the UK. And I go to London, but like every time I go to London, we're like eating at restaurants. We're like doing these things. And like, anyways, there's another point that I'm going to make about the fucking British pound at some point. But I really balled out the airport. I got Walker gifts. I got Taylor some fucking stupid chocolates from Harrods. I got literally everyone gifts because, there's a magnet on my fridge right now. That's like an English magnet. I just said, I got to spend my pounds because I bought them. All right. Well, I'm smarter than all of you. So that's all that I had to say about that. So we're going to have a solo episode today. So I am about to go to South Africa. Let me give you a little catch up. Okay, so this will come right after my lovely hungover podcast, which I definitely thought I was hungover, but cue me being sick and then continuing to have that. When I was talking shit about people that were like, oh, how could you be Osmosis Jones and know that I have the same cold as you? I did. Everyone has these colds that are lasting like 26 days. Like I literally had that. It's the weirdest thing. You're like not sick anymore, but you're just like drippy and sniffly and just like gross. Ugh. This girl sat beside me on a plane on the way back from New York, and she's like, sorry, I swear I'm not sick. I'm just like, I just like getting over this like stupid cold that's lasting forever. Normal Shannon would have been like, you are fucking so sick and so disgusting. Get the fuck away from me. I looked at her, I go, bitch, I'm pretty sure I had the same thing. Like, no worries, girl. I know you're not contagious. You want a sip of my water? I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. But like literally, I was like, I fucking believe you. And normally I would never believe that bitch. But I was like, I believe you. I am Osmosis Jones. That's a great movie. Do you know that movie, Producer Courtney? That was like really life-changing for me. Okay, so a little catch up. You guys know I'm not good at notes. So like solo podcast, I'm trying to get better at. I could talk to you fuckers all day long. But it's like, it's hard for me to have like for it to make sense. And so like I write notes because I'm trying to be good about that, but then they're all fucking over the place. So anyways, nevertheless, she proceeds. A little toast reference. But is that what they say? I don't remember. But anyways, here I go. So I got back from London. The last time we talked was Halloween and then the Hungover podcast. But I went to London in the meantime for Halloween. Let me tell you guys something. I know, obviously, and listen, don't worry. This podcast is not going to turn into the British versus US, like, blah. We get it. They're different countries. We know we're different. But like, this is my current life right now where every day I learn something is fucking way different. This shit is wild. So I know a lot of things are different from the UK to the US, but I recently learned, and let me tell you who was really upset about this, just absolutely distraught. Taylor Monaco, when she found out that the UK they don't really celebrate Halloween the way that we do. Everyone thinks that Americans are fucking cuckoo magoo, wackadoodle, fucking Yankee dandies because the way we like go all out for Halloween, which I mean, like I love, like I feel like it's so fun how you walk past and everyone has a 12-foot skeleton like in their home. Like, I think that's fun and normal, but people don't decorate like that for Halloween in the UK. There's a couple restaurants that had like the spider webs, you know what I mean? Like on their like outside windows. But other than that, James says that they get a pumpkin. And anything he says to me, no offense, babe, if you're listening to this, which I don't think he is, but like I fact check everything through his mom. Cause I'm like, you said that the UK doesn't have baby showers. His mom was like, we absolutely do. Yes, we do. I'm like, okay. So, he said, and his mom confirmed, they get a pumpkin on October 31st, a pumpkin, singular. They put it on their porch or they carve it, they do whatever. And then they take it off the next day. They just do the pumpkin for like trick-or-treaters or for like festivities and then they take it away. I'm like, baby boy, we really celebrate gore and death. Like we love it. We love it here. We love death. It's so creepy. And so anyways, yeah, I was like, that is so crazy. Nevertheless, he says, and I'm not going to say this in a bad way. I've since had a conversation with him about this. So like, this isn't me just like, you know, airing our dirty laundry, because he and I had to have a little conversation about telling your girlfriend, babe, I just got us tickets to a Halloween party at Soho House in London, which by the way, no shade, but is like way cooler than the Soho houses in the US. I just got us tickets to this really super legit, like exclusive party in London at Soho House for Halloween. Like, I know the intentions were there. Like, he was being so nice about it. But like, he's like, I got us these tickets for this Halloween party because I know how much you want to celebrate Halloween. I was literally 3 hours away from going to the airport. 3 hours. I texted him back and I said, do you want to do that? Because we had already had this whole conversation about how we were okay with not doing anything for Halloween. How like Halloween's like too much. Like, who cares about Halloween? Halloween's not even that big of a deal. Let's just lay on the couch and watch movies. And then 3 hours before, he's like, babe, I feel so bad. I know how much you love Halloween. I know how much the US celebrates it. I've gotten us 2 tickets to this party. I'm like, bitch, I leave for the airport in 2 hours. Are you serious? My Botox kicked in, so you can't see how upset I was at this point, but I was upset. Okay. I was like, hey. And so I was like, I wrote back to him because like, I think something really important in relationships is knowing how to argue, knowing how to, I don't even want to call it fighting, but like, let's be real, like fights. This wasn't a fight of ours. We didn't have a fight by any means. Although later on he did tell me, like, I knew you were upset. I think it's really important to just be communicative. So I wrote back and also just not passive aggressive. I hate passive aggressive people. Don't be passive aggressive in your relationships. Just calmly explain how you feel. So I wrote back and was like, oh, okay. So I leave for the airport in 3 hours. Is this something that you really want to do? I don't have a costume prepared at all. And he was like, that's okay. I don't have a costume either. We'll figure it out. Men. Fucking men. Are you kidding me? This is when I was like, okay. Is this something you really want to do? Because I was really okay with just like sitting on the couch. And I personally, you're correct, do enjoy Halloween, do enjoy the festivities. So I want to do it the right way. Like I want to make it good. And I didn't have anything planned. This was before I was Ginger Spice. So I was like, I don't really like have any ideas. Like, and of course he's like, you could be he's so sweet. He's like, anything you do would look good. And you know what? I know he meant that. Like, he's like, anything you would do, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be that crazy. But I'm like, I just like do everything really well. You know what I mean? Like, if it's going to be done by me and it's not my taxes, I'm going to do it well. I'm gonna do it fucking well. So I was like, that doesn't fly with me. And then we had like a couple conversations, and then, oh my God, my heart, he was like, he said the words, which I did. I texted him back and was like, you do not ever say that. You do not ever need to say that to me. He was like, I feel like this is all my fault and I just fucked up. And I was like, no, you didn't. But like, if this party's important to you, he's like, it's not that important to me. We don't have to do it, but I do think it'd be fun. I'm so sorry I didn't think about the costumes. Do you want to like, figure out costumes? If you can, do you want to? And I was like, to be honest, I did have the idea of ginger spice already. I just didn't have a dress. Shouts out to me reaching out to the girl on Instagram. She gave it to me. It was wonderful, easy. But yeah, so off I went to the Halloween party. But then I was excited about it, right? But something, and producer Courtney, tell me if I've already said this before. Did I say this already in the Halloween episode? How a couple people have told me that everyone in London dresses as ginger spice? Okay, so I got all these DMs that were, producer Courtney says no. I got all these DMs from people being like, oh my God, if you want to be ginger spice, because I posted like, does anyone have a ginger spice costume that lives in Nashville? Shouts out again to Katie. You saved my life. She met me at $5 donuts and fucking tossed the bag, and it was great. But I had a lot of DMs from people that live in London being like, oh my God, they sell them everywhere in the UK. Like everyone dresses up as ginger spice. Like you could find that costume easily. And I was like, again, look, I'm not basic. Like, I don't want to do the same thing everyone does. Like, I don't want to be a witch. I want to dress up as I'm a mouse, duh. Like, I want to, like, be different. So I was like, oh, shit, is everyone going to be ginger spice? Anyways, I'm like, I asked James, too. I'm like, does everyone dress up as ginger spice? And he's like, not really. And I was like, okay. So I am very excited about my ginger spice outfit. I get ready. The vibes are elite. I'm no longer upset. I have like a phenomenal outfit with these amazing boots, and I get these little blonde clip-ins. You guys saw the episode. I made it even better for like my London version. And so I'm getting ready. James is playing god-awful house music, but I did suggest this new thing where he plays a house music song and then a rap song when we're like pre-gaming. So it's house, rap. And it's like, I can fucking deal with that. That's fine. So the vibes are good. We're eating pizza. It's great. And then I go to the party and I get there, and I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of times I just listen to Nick Viles, however you say it. Because you guys know I don't read. I'm illiterate. Yes, I read all the time, but I listen to, my preferred method of consumption of literature is via audiobook. And that is many, academia professionals have told me is the same as reading. But I was just listening to Nick Vial's book. It's called Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday. It's a really, really good book. And in it, there's a lot of conversation about your ego and how like 9 times out of 10, I really do suggest you guys listening to this book. I wish I had it in my 20s. Like I actually was a little like, when you're like, check yourself. I'm like, I'm in a healthy relationship. I know everything. And then I'm like, there were a couple moments where I was like, bitch, check yourself. Because he talks about relationships a lot and it's really insightful. But really, I wish I had this book in my early 20s because it would have saved me. I don't know if it would have saved me heartache because I probably still would have fallen for these men. But like it would have saved me a lot of dumb bitch energy that I was putting out. And for that, Nick Vial, you've done a great job with your book, Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday. Go read it. But there's a lot of conversation about ego in it. And this is something that I'm very familiar with, my ego. And I think if you're self-aware, that's fantastic, but you also can't just like dismiss every bad thing about yourself and be like, but I know I do it. You're like, yeah, well, you can't like kill people and be like, but I know I'm doing it. Like, yeah, it doesn't work like that. So anyways, my ego is something I know I have, but like we're trying to always like rein it in, reel it in. You guys are screaming in your car, but I got you. Reel it in. And this was the time I didn't, because I get to this party, or it's just the time where I just like didn't. I was such a dumb bitch. I get to this party in London. It is as fabulous as I thought it'd be. The Soho House in London is super fucking cool. And we go, and I'm like, first of all, like I low-key look better than everyone else. Not like better, but like my costume was better than everyone else. Everyone was dressed in black. Like everyone was wearing the same version of everyone's outfits. Like everyone was dressed as like the same thing. Like they were all in this black or leather. They all had these like marquee masks on. Like everyone was like dressed the same. And I was in this like bright blue fucking ginger spice outfit with these like, you guys saw the fucking episode, these knee high, thigh high boots, go-go boots, and my hair and my makeup and whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm like really standing out. You know what I mean? Like I'm like looking good. So the party goes on. I have a great time. Really nothing else to be said here nor there about it. Everyone was definitely dressed like super scary. Like if there was like a hot, like girls were still dressed, I don't want to use the word slutty, but like slutty. You know what I mean? Like everyone was still dressed like hot, right? But like they'd be dead. Like there wasn't like an elf that wasn't dead. There wasn't a fairy, like a sexy, the fairies were all black though. There weren't like any costume that didn't have an element of gore to it. But like, you know, still the girls looked hot. Like it'd be like blood dripping down her mouth or like a little like blood on the neck, like whatever. But like everyone had blood. And it's funny because James dressed as if I know who the fuck this is, some fucking F1 racing manager who allegedly is married to Ginger Spice. That made sense, right? Christian Horner, I think his name is. Anyways, he dresses him. And before we walked out of the door, he was like, should I put some like blood on me? And I was like, you're dressed as the manager of an F1 team who's, correct me if I'm wrong, currently alive. He's like, yeah. I was like, no, why would you need to be dead? I'm not dead Ginger Spice. He's like, yeah, good point. So we like leave. And I remember being like, fucking weird question. Go to the party, everything I just said, we leave. Well, the next day, I'm like, I post like everyone be dressed as Ginger Spice. Like I was the only one. And James tells me, he's like, what a London thing. Like everyone's in black. Like no one was dressed in any color. I did not see one Barbie, one fairy. I did not see one like anything. Like what are some like Halloween costumes you see? Like a princess or like, I don't know, fucking anything. A race car driver. Like I'm trying to think of a chef, a slutty nurse, like a sexy Cinderella, a sexy, like anything, nothing. Every costume was like black or had like a little bit of gore to it. And so I was like, what? Okay. So I posted on my Instagram. I'm like, oh my God. So James tells me London, everyone dresses scary. So I started getting all these DMs where they're like, okay, so in London, like we don't do Halloween unless it's scary. Like if you do a Halloween costume in London, it's scary. So for instance, you should have been dead Ginger Spice. You should have been zombie Ginger Spice. You should have been Ginger Spice who like the other Spice Girls killed her. Like we do everything scary. And I was like, oh my gosh, me immediately asks his mom. His mom's like, oh my God, I cannot believe James hasn't told you that. Like, yes, everyone in London dresses scary for Halloween. I was like, James, what the fuck? Then furthermore, I get on my Instagram and I'm like, it's so crazy. I'm the only girl dressed in color. Everyone's in black, blah, 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 thinking you guys are so London. I get like 10 messages from girls that were at the party, not just like London goers, girls that were at the party I was at, right? The Soho White City House, which again was like 4 stories. There was like thousands of people there. It was super cool. But like 10 separate people messaged me like, hey girl, I was at that party. There was a theme. Like the whole night was themed. And I was like, oh heavens. The theme was the theme was like Back in Black, Sin City, or like Leather Love, Sin City, something surrounding Sin City. They're obsessed with America. Is Sin City the only reference? Vegas, right? Is there not another one? Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm a fucking dumb bitch because literally everyone was like, the theme was black leather Sin City or some form of that. I immediately just thought like, thank God I didn't know that when I was there, because I just remember thinking like, oh my God, I'm like standing out. Like I feel so good. Like I'm Ginger Spice and I feel so cute. Yeah, no, there was a theme and I was probably just a dumb bitch. I wasn't dressed in it. And James was like, maybe people just thought we were coming from a different party. I'm like, I don't know, because we showed up right on time and left at the end. So I doubt it. But that was my experience in London. Otherwise than that, we really just got to spend like a lot of time together just chilling, which was nice because I planned this trip kind of last minute. And every time I otherwise plan a trip, we're doing something bigger. We're going to Portugal. It's his birthday weekend, or he's coming to America for 3 weeks, and I have every single thing planned. And this was nice because it was like, we didn't have, other than that Halloween party, we just like laid on the couch, chilled, had dinner with his friends, like did work on like the Monday and Tuesday, like actually woke up, did work, got shit done. Like it was just nice. Went to the gym, just did regular schmegular ass shit, which I really like doing because I do want to, always make sure that in this beautiful fairy tale of a life I'm living with James, that we can still exist in the normal with each other, exist in times where we're not like, sailing down the coast of Cascais in Portugal and like living our best lives. Like I want to make sure that we can like wake up and just like exist. So that was nice to do. And we just like made a bunch of stupid TikToks. What's that one I couldn't stop singing earlier? The TikTok where I came up and see, I'm sorry, I really have to do it because otherwise everyone's going to be screaming in the car. It's this one. Hold on. I'll play it. Don't you fret, guys. We did this one. Okay, so if you're not watching this, that's the TikTok where you like someone swings from underneath their physical body. And James and I, we didn't get in a fight, but I was like, "You're hurting me." He was like, "You're asking me to swing your whole body in between my legs from behind." And I was like, "Okay, true." But yeah, we just got to like chill and hang and do like stupid shit, which was nice. I'm packing for South Africa, which I'm very excited for because I love a list. We're going to get a lot of use out of this UK little notebook, but I'm finding it difficult not to pack for South Africa per se, because like Cape Town, I've kind of gotten a handle on, researching and doing my background checks. And actually a girl I went to college with, Shelly, shouts out. She's been phenomenal. She's spent a lot of time in South Africa, and she's been very helpful. So if you're listening, I don't even know if you're a podcast listener, but Shelly, fucking love you. Thank you, girl. And Zlam, sister, she was in my sorority. But yeah, so I have that under control, but something that James has planned, which, oops, I hope this whole episode doesn't seem like I'm just being like kind of twatty towards my boyfriend, who's doing a lot of sweet things for me, like getting me tickets to a fabulous Halloween party and like doing a bunch of stuff. But while we're in Cape Town, he wanted to do something special for my birthday because I'll be in Cape Town during my birthday. And he planned this safari, and he loves surprises. I do not love surprises. I love a list. I love to be prepared. I love to pack. So we've had to kind of navigate in our relationship, like him always trying to surprise me with stuff. I'm like, don't do that. Like, just like, don't. Surprise me with like where we're going to dinner. No, don't do that actually, because like I want to know what to wear to dinner. Tell me we're going to a nice restaurant and then don't tell me which one. You know what I mean? Because then I would know what to wear. Tell me we're going to a barbecue, but don't tell me which restaurant. Like little surprises are fine that I have most details for beforehand. Anyways, he tells me we're doing something where we're traveling away from Cape Town for your birthday. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest. It's my birthday and I'm going to pull the birthday card. I really want to know exactly what we're doing. Because especially if it's going to be on my birthday, can you please tell me what we're doing? And he was like, you're the worst. We're going on a safari. And I was like, okay. What kind of safari? And he was like, a safari. And I was like, okay, so hear me out. Just hear me out. Are we doing something that you would want to do on your birthday? Or do you think you've booked something that Shannon would want to do on her birthday? And he's like, I'm not a moron. Like, I know what you want. Like, of course I'm not. Because I'm like, is this motherfucker taking me out to the fucking woods? Are we going to be camping? We kind of want to camp on my birthday. Camping's fine. Hiking's fine. But, like, not on my birthday. Like, I just, like, wanted to make sure it was something I liked. I just didn't want to be disappointed. You know, that is such a fucking... what a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'm like, you are such a bitch. And even he was like, Shannon, I know what you want for your birthday. I'm not taking you into like the sticks to like make a fire. We're going to he's like, well, now that you need to know, we're going to this really bougie, nice, like safari, like, you know, area where you like ride horses to go see the safari. And I was like, oh, heavens to Betsy. I haven't ridden horses in a long time. I did grow up riding horses actually with my best friend Drew because she had horses. But nevertheless, I need to pack an outfits for a safari where we're on horseback. And it's cold at night, but hot in the day. I am perplexed. I'm perplexed. It's really just put me in a confusing spot. So if you guys have any tips or tricks, if you guys frequent horseback safaris, let me know. Slide in the comments, please let me know. So I'm packing for that. Oh, but you know what's actually interesting? This is another, me and my notes, they're all over the place. I contemplated not even telling this story because it's kind of stupid. And it's funny because my friend Danielle was with me. She has an incredible YouTube page. Go check her out. Danielle Carolyn. She's fucking awesome. And I love her. And she was with me. We had decided to go to Balthazar, which I have not yet talked about this on the podcast, even though I've been tagged in this story 1 trillion times. Producer Courtney sent it to me immediately. She was like, have you seen this? And I was like, bitch, of course I've seen this. James Corden getting banned from Balthazar, which thank God we didn't talk about it then, because now what's transpired from the whole story is chaotic as fucking all over the place. You're almost kind of like, shut up. The guy that owns the restaurant's like, no shade, I love Balthazar. But you're almost kind of like, let it go. Like, you've come on here like 6 times now and gone back, forth. But allegedly, James Corden's just kind of a dick about his omelets, which I could see. You know what I mean? You know, when someone just gives off the vibe that they're probably amazing in their like real life with their real friends, but you think about like fans and stuff, you're like, I bet he's kind of a dick. So if you've met James Corden and as a fan and have had an incredible experience, also let me know, because I just don't know. I think maybe he was kind of a dick to the restaurant people. My personal opinion. But yeah, so all that being said, I go to Balthazar, as I fucking do, to have some snails and some champagne with one of my girlfriends. And I'm wearing, let me break it down for you. I'm wearing these green pants, and then they match perfectly. And the outfit is leather pants, but like loose, like jean leather pants, trousers, if you will. And then this green, to be fair, green bra that like is the exact same color. And then this jacket, this leather suede jacket that's the exact same color. It was like a very all like matching outfit moment. I thought to myself before I went, I wonder if I'll get hot while I'm in Balthazar. But then I was like, it's freezing cold outside. It was a really cold weekend in New York. And I was like, I'm not going to get cold. Saturday night, New York City. I'm sorry. Last time I checked, doesn't Lady Gaga prance around in fucking meat, like raw meat? The shit I see in New York, like, relax. Like, it's definitely a city of expression. Okay. So yeah, everyone, I wasn't wearing that in Nashville. And even if I was, the bra wasn't showing at all. Right. Nevertheless, I get to Balthazar. I get hot. I'm like, ugh, I'm really fucking hot. I don't say a word to anyone. I don't say to Danielle like, oh, is this awkward? I'm wearing a matching bra underneath. Like, it's 2022. People wear bras as tops all the time. It's a very normal thing. I do one of these guys where I just I shrug the jacket off my shoulders, keep it on my arms. You know what I mean? So it's still on my back and my arms. It's just off my shoulders. Then this girl across, and again, I'll make this story fast because it's not that serious. Like, whatever. This lady was just a twat. But this lady who, by the way, I know you guys are all going to ask, she was our age, maybe a couple years older, maybe a couple years, if that. She's a very pretty lady. She's across the bar from us with 3 of her girlfriends, all cute girls. And I shouldn't say girls. They were definitely ladies. They were definitely like in their late 30s, but like good looking, hot girls. And so anyways, they are talking, whatever. And I see this one girl, she makes this motion to like, both of her hands are kind of like making this motion, like shrugging a jacket back on, like almost as if you were to be like, brr, I'm cold, like shrugging a jacket on. And I see her making this motion towards me. And I'm like, is she talking to me? And I look at her and I go, what? Like I mouth like, what? Across the bar. And I see her to what I think she says is like, put your coat on. And I was like, I literally in my head, I'm like, oh my God, my bra has come undone. My bare breasts are out. Thank God for this lady. I instinctively look down, which that is so fucking stupid. I would obviously feel if my bra came off. I would literally feel air on my nipples. I like look down really quickly, see that like there's like, it's literally just my jacket shrugged off. And then it hits me. I'm like, oh my God. She just like she's telling me to just like put my coat back on. And so I look at her again and I go, what? And she's like, put your coat on. And I'm like, okay, what? Now Danielle, who is really just like the sweetest, kindest, she's been doing YouTube since she was like 12. So like just like a pure force, right? She's like so kind. And she was like, did she just say that? And I go, surely we misunderstood her. So we just ignore her, whatever. This man comes over that was standing behind her, walks over to us. He wasn't with her group or anything. He says like, hey, she's trying to get your attention. And I go, yeah, I know, I saw. And he goes, she wants you to put your coat back on. She like really wants you to like cover up and put your coat back on. He says that to me. And I go, you know, it's funny. You always think you're going to have such perfect responses and you think you're going to have like the sharpest, wittiest, best thing to say. But sometimes in situations you're just like, what? And I go like this, I go, yeah, I know, I'm not going to. So like, that was my response. Me have rehad the conversation in my shower 1,000 times with my shampoo bottles, and I am way wittier. But to him, I said, yeah, I know, I'm not going to. And he was like, okay, well, that's what she's trying to tell you. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not. And he was like, okay. Then she proceeds to stay there for a next hour trying to convince anyone in the restaurant. She reports me to the restaurateurs, which, by the way, bitch, if you don't think I don't drink there every fucking afternoon, if you think I don't have people at Balthazar, you're wrong. You're wrong, bitch, because they all just laughed and were like, that's crazy. Like, this is so stupid. And she looked silly, but like, how crazy. I don't know if that story was even worthwhile telling on the podcast, but it was really wild because she stayed for another hour proceeding to, and I'm sure all of you guys are just gonna be like, she's jealous, she's whatever, she's insecure. But like, I'm here to tell you, I don't know how to explain that. I truly think she was genuinely perplexed and bothered. Clearly, I would go out on a limb and say not from New York, because like, I just wanted to shake her and be like, we're in New York City. We're in the fashion capital of the world, in Soho at Balthazar. Like, get the fuck out of here, Judge Judy. Put the gavel down. But yeah, she proceeded to stay there for another hour, just like trying to convince anyone around her that I was in a brawl, like trying to enlist people to like tell on me. It was the most middle school bizarre shit I've ever been a part of. And Danielle, when the lady finally left, to be fair, I did not engage. Danielle goes, which me as a friend, this is fucking me. Like, if someone else was doing this to my friend, I would have been way more. When it's happening to me, I'm almost like, this is so silly. I'm not going to give this attention. I'm not going to give this woman the power she wants from me. She does not get it. But like, if they were doing this to one of my girlfriends, I'd be like, oh, you want to fucking go? I would have just taken my whole shirt off. I would have been like, how about these? Like, what about these? So I just like, I get it. And Danielle, when the lady left, Danielle did one of these. Like, the lady was just like leaving the restaurant, and she was like, bye, with like her hands like doing the waving motion, like, bye, see ya, bye. I was like, Danielle. She was feeling some type of way about it. She was like, that is fucking insane. No one can tell you to do that. So that happened in New York, which is just very perplexing. Let's go back to my random list of notes. The Taylor Swift album that came out. Okay. Classes in session. Me and producer Courtney, I'm not going to lump you into this. I won't. Forget that I said producer Courtney. We were having a conversation about this though. And let's talk about her album. Love it. Astonishing. Any piece of work that woman puts out, I'm in times 1,000. And even if I don't love it all the way right off the bat, I know that I'll listen to it for the next month on repeat, which I literally have not listened to any of it. I've listened to a little bit of the new Drake album. I've liked it, but like I will listen to Taylor Swift's album on repeat for the next month. Exclusively. I'm not fucking kidding you guys. Like, I fucking love Taylor Swift. I will only just listen to it. And then the things that I didn't like at first, for instance, like the lakes on the bonus tracks from the last album, I remember being like, the lakes is kind of slow. Now, where the Windermere Peaks are a perfect place to fucking cry, count me the fuck in. I love that song. A tree fell and no one was around to hear it, to tweet it. What was it? What's the line about a flower and tweeting it? I don't know, but I fucking love that song. And at first I remember being like, it's kind of slow and mopey. Now I fucking love that song. Okay. But here's my issue. And this would be a great way to parlay into it, because for instance, what I just tried to reference from the lakes, I know you guys all know what I'm talking about, but the Swifties, I would love to call myself a Swiftie. But the Swifties will listen to this podcast and they'll be like, you clearly don't love the lakes because you just got that line wrong and you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, relax. I love the song. And I'm telling you, like, the song is just like, I'm on the spot and there's a bunch of lights on me and I'm in front of a mic. Like, I just don't remember the exact lyrics right now. Okay. So my issue is, and this might be a hot take, and if I'm going to lose some followers and some fans from this, it's okay. It's okay. But I'm going to tell you my hot take. I love Taylor Swift. I am a mega fan of Taylor Swift, to the point that I personally think I am a Swiftie. I don't like to associate myself with Swiftie behavior. I don't love to associate myself with Swiftie behavior because some of you guys are fucking whack. Some of you are really, it's not nice. Like, you're just not. I got on my Instagram to talk about how much of a Swiftie I am and how I was like, oh my God, Taylor, I love you, but personally, I can't stay awake till midnight for this to come out, let alone you fucking people that did stay awake till midnight. She released more at 3 a.m. as she does, which I loved because my ass woke up at 7 a.m. ready to listen to the whole album, okay? I didn't miss any tracks because I already had them all waiting for me. But I posted something and I was like, I'm a Swiftie, but like, I can't stay awake till midnight, so I can't wait to wake up at 7 in the morning with my coffee and listen to the whole album. And I spelled Swiftie, Swifty. in hindsight, like that doesn't even look right. So like I probably should have fixed it, but I guess I didn't. The people that came back were like, oh, you gotta be a Swiftie. It's SWIFTIE. I probably just spelled that wrong again, but like, you know what I mean? They were like, it's IE. And I was like, relax. I don't think she cares. And they were like, she does. And I was like, I feel like if you're rocking with Taylor Swift, she just probably appreciates it. Like, I don't think she really cares. And they're like, she cares about everything. Details are everything to her. And I'm like, okay, you guys need to take a motherfucking Xanax. Cause like, I don't relate to y'all's behavior. I think it's giving horse girl. And I know a lot of you might be like, one of my good friends, Paige Lorenz, has this whole like line called Dairy Boy, and like she has this another like set of merch that's called like Horse Girl, and she actually broke down really nicely how being a horse girl is like a really cool thing. And her concept I do get. I grew up in the South. I grew up in the country. I rode horses with my girlfriend whose family literally owned a farm. Horse girl energy is different. We just call those country girls, a country mouse. Okay, horse girls are the girls that were like, you know, wearing Cookie Monster PJs to run the mile, arguing with the coach, and like galloping down the hallways. You know what I mean? That's horse girl energy to me. And some of you Swifties are giving horse girl energy, and I don't respond well to it. I don't want to be a part of it. Okay. And I want to be obsessed. I deep dive with you guys. I go on conspiracy theories about Taylor Swift. I listen to the albums at length, in depth. I cannot express to you really how obsessed I am with Taylor Swift, but often, very often, and this is what I was telling producer Courtney, very often people will be like, oh my God, I never would have thought you were a Swiftie. And I'm like, I think it's because I'm not exhibiting Swiftie behavior at all times, because sometimes it can be a little cringe. I'm really sorry if that just like really made you guys pissed at me, but I love Taylor Swift. I fucking ride or die for Taylor Swift, but I just think you guys need to like relax a little bit. Now, am I going to pay literally $8 million for her tickets when she goes on the New Era tour? Yeah, I am. Because I literally love her. But like, everyone should just like relax on the Swiftie behavior, I think, a little bit. This is going to be really random, and maybe I have already said this. I hope I haven't. But I got a random follower who was saying, you know, like couple names, like in Hollywood, whatever. I know I'm not famous enough to have a fucking couple name. But someone was like, you and James' couple name should be Shame. Which feels okay. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of funny. Okay, so circling back to two things that I was talking about. One is back to the British currency, pounds. And so I got all this cash out, right? I told you guys in pounds. And I was trying to spend it because obviously the whole point is to use the money because I saved money on the money, if that fucking makes sense. And so everywhere we went, but it's like so not cool. Like no one pays with cash anymore. So I look like the fucking weirdo. Like everyone's probably like, are you a stripper or a drug dealer? Because I literally am like, can I pay in cash? Can I pay in cash? And they're like, I don't know, I guess you could be like a waitress. But no, you couldn't, because even waitresses don't get paid in cash anymore. No one even tips in cash anymore. So that's even like, I bet waitresses don't have a bunch of cash. So anyways, I just kept paying for cash everywhere. Well, here's what I didn't realize. The pounds. So I text James and I go, do you guys have like cents? Like, I know you'll have coins, but are the coins like ours? Like just like a penny, 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents, and that's it. Cause I kept getting, every time I pay with cash, I kept getting a lot of coins back. And there was this one time where I was like, I don't know, these fucking coins. And I say to the lady it's their version of CVS. It's called Boots. And I said to the lady, you can keep the change. And she goes, oh my God, no, no, you take the change. And I was like, no, it's okay. It was just the coins. Like, you keep it. And she's like, oh my God, Americans are like so nice. Like, you're too nice. Like, please, like, I'm not taking this change. Like, take it. Obviously, I'm not going to like force her to take it. So at that point I was like, okay. I brought it back, and James told me that the way I paid with cash, because I paid with a $50 bill, she must not have had a lot of bills. And there's like $2 coins. So she was giving me like $8 back in coins. And I was like, keep the change, when I was buying like tissues. And she was like, oh my God, no. And so, yeah, I didn't really realize that. So then here is this perplexing issue. Then I'm like, God, I got to get rid of all these coins. So I'm trying to pay for now I'm even more embarrassing, because now when I'm like, can I pay in cash? People are like, yeah, I'm trying to give them my coins. And James is like, babe, just pay with your credit card, please. I was like, no. I've got pounds and monies and coins. Hold on. I'm like counting it out. You can't say a bitch isn't thrifty sometimes. And so anyways, it was just an embarrassing situation. I need to figure that out. I have a lot of coins, a lot of coins. Okay. And circling back to one more thing is South Africa. Okay. So This next week, it's literally basically all I'm going to be doing. And something that I am definitely going to pack, which I haven't introduced James to this like side of my life. He definitely knows that I like obviously spray tan. Like I'll be like, I just got a spray tan or whatever. He'll know. When we were in America, he like put self tanner foam on my back, but I don't really love foam. I like more like airbrush spray. And so I have this like travel airbrush spray, which by the way, if you subscribe to my Instagram subscription, which is like the little purple badge, I've just started it. I'm going to give all the tips and tricks about spray tan. So if you're listening to this and you're like, wait, I want to know what you use. I want to know the solution. Bitch, I'm sorry. I'm gatekeeping it. It's not expensive. Skip Starbucks for one day and subscribe on Instagram. It's very easy. Literally do it because I tell you everything about anything on there. But okay, so I have this like travel airbrush. So I have a whole shebang here that's like an at-home airbrush kit to airbrush myself as if you were to like have someone come to your home and airbrush tan you. But I have this one that's a smaller version that you travel with. It is insane. It gets so hot, like the compressor in it, because it's like an airbrush machine. It's a bit bigger. It's like 2 hair dryers is like the size of it, right? I'll have to like show you guys a picture of it. And the way that it heats up on the bottom, like it burns your hand at some point. Like I know this shit is not supposed to be in outlets, but oh, that reminds me, I should probably look at the voltage for traveling with it. Anyways, neither here nor there. I'm bringing that shit with me to South Africa because I just want to be tan. I just want to make sure I'm tan while I'm there. I'm not me when I'm not tan. And I know you've not listened to my, we're doing like a 40 questions thing, which will come out next week, like a whole get to know me. And in that, one of the questions was about insecurities. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's my tan. Like I just like to be tan and I don't want to be an unhappy person. So I'm going to bring a whole ass fucking machine with me to South Africa and I'm really going to have to figure that out. But on top of that, and circling back to aesthetics while I'm in South Africa, I was thinking to myself, like, should I get a bikini wax? Because it's when we go there, it's summertime in South Africa. So how many times can I say South Africa in 4 minutes? It's summertime while we're there. And so I was like, you know what? Should I fuck around and get a Brazilian wax? Which I quickly, immediately was like, no, because I'm going to tell you guys a story and we're going to wrap it up here. And then afterwards, you guys are going to probably message me and be like, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for your trauma. And let me know if you need anything. Maybe you guys could all Venmo me just for my like just absolute the shock factor of this. So I get a Brazilian wax. This is 4 years ago. I was going to Mexico. And I'm like, I'm going to get all my friends talk about these like Brazilian waxes. Like I think I'd had like one before one time. It for sure hurt, but I was like, not so bad that you couldn't do it again. So I go to get one. And I'm not going to name the place I went. It was a place in Nashville. It's neither here nor there. It seemed like probably a like specific person thing, maybe not like a company wide thing. I should just get bikini waxes because like the inner legs, like that's fine. Like that's what I don't want to like show and be PC. I like could just, trim my own Brazilian areas. But the hard wax is just like the wax goes on and then they pull that off. They don't like put a strip of paper over it. So I am at that point and I'm like, here we fucking go. It hurts, of course, just like it always hurts. It wasn't more painful than the last time. It's awful. I leave, but I'm like, oof, this is hurting more than I recall. And it's like that, like jumpy hurt. Like I'm like, ow, ow, ow. But not like, I can't explain it to you. So I'm just going to explain it to you in not layman's terms, in technical terms. And God forbid, I really hope James' mom has just like decided to stop listening to this podcast at length. So I realized very quickly, like even within just putting my clothes on, but of course the esthetician or whatever they're called, she's already left, they privacy. It's like going to the gynecologist. They're like, okay, bye-bye now. And so I'm like, it's my clit. I'm like, it's my clit. It is not, ow, what is that? And immediately I'm like, did she burn it? And then I'm like, no, because the wax is not that hot. Nothing else is burnt. And I'm like, what? So I'm leaving and I'm like, oh, it hurts to like walk, let alone like I put my underwear back on. I was like, oh, I'm driving. We're talking, I'm driving down the road. And if I'm just easily pressing the brake, I mean, just getting to a stoplight, not flaming on brakes. I'm just pressing the brake, right? Going this far forward. I was like, like any weight distribution pushed forward on my vagina. I was like in severe pain. I go home. I take a good old fashioned mirror to it. I'm like, oh, there are like, what, like pop blood vessels. Like you can just tell that something's like bruised. My whole clit bruised. Just like you can just, like I knew immediately like something. So I call Because I'm like, what? And they tell me instantly. They're not like, oh, what? Weird. What? Hold on. Oh, let me talk to someone. They're like, oh no. Yeah, we must have popped blood vessels in your clitoris and it's just going to be bruised for a few days. I was like, oh, but what the fuck? I'm literally getting on a plane the next day. Oh, it was pure misery for 3 to 4 business days. 4 to 5 business days. It was horrible. Producer Courtney is literally wincing right now, whispering, ouch. Like, it was beyond. Like, let alone, like, not to get in the nitty gritty here, but like, I was going on like a fun, flirty vacation with like my boyfriend at the time to Mexico. Like, yeah. No. Like, it was like the absolute no-go zone. Like, it was the most painful thing. I will never get a wax skin in my life. And I'm sure a million of you are going to be like, girl, I give myself a wax every week. I go and get a wax every month. That has never happened to me. I hope it hasn't. I sincerely hope it hasn't. Let me tell you, the place I went goes, that's not as common, but you know, it's happened before. We'd love to offer you a free wax, another free Brazilian wax. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I am not doing that. That's my story. That's my trauma. That's all I have to say about it. I don't want to tell you guys to stop getting Brazilian waxes, but I do want to let you know it could happen. It too could happen to you. You too could bruise your clit. So wouldn't recommend. -10 out of 10. Don't do it. So that's going to wrap up our podcast. Yeah, next week is going to be great because you guys are going to hear all about me and fun facts. And I love you. I appreciate you. I have a lot more to come when we're in South Africa. I'm going to record stuff. Many blessings. Mwah.